Chad Conley, and today I'm joined with Gateway Mortgage, and we're going to be posting this interview on the Park Bench community website. There on the Sheridan community website, you can find all the news and events and things happening here in Sheridan, as well as people in the area and other businesses. So we're joined here today with Gateway Mortgage Lending Team, Dan Poppell, and Matt Brown, and Sheridan Filbert. So we're very thankful. Thank you guys for being with us today.
Thanks for having us.
So yeah, we're just kind of curious. Just tell us a little bit about Gateway Mortgage.
Oh, lots of great things. Newer to Sheridan in the sense that we have an office here in January. Been originating in Wyoming for a little while now, but brought an office to Sheridan. Has been around for about 21 years now, and the largest private-owned mortgage company in the United States. So we can do lots of great things with a small-town feel and quickly, which is really nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
On a big bank basis with lots of options. That also allows us to lend in 43 states, so across the country.
We keep all the servicing rights to most of our mortgages when we originate them, so when you make your payment to us.
All right. Yeah, dealing with people local, that's always helpful, and not having to deal with people across the country, so it's always a big benefit for sure.
That also allows us to keep our pricing down, too, so we can be very competitive in rates.
Well, and to touch on that too, I mean, we're not just making payments to Gateway as well. You have a problem anywhere in the life of your loan, whether it's in the beginning stages during your application or after we've already closed the loan, you've been paying your payments for 2 years now. You still have that number that you get to call, talk to a local friendly face, right, and get your problem solved. And I think we're all of the mindset, if I don't know the answer, I'll find the answer for you.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. The other big thing about Gateway is we don't have an origination fee on our regular type loans, I guess you'd say. There are some
purchases, refinances,
special
basic
products.
Things, but some specialties have a little bit.
Our underwriting fee, $8.95, our processing fee, $20. So that's out the door with Gateway. Everything else is third party, which is standard across the board. What else about Gateway that stands out? We are big supporters of Folds of Honor and our veterans. So for every loan closed with Gateway, we donate $5 to Folds of Honor.
Awesome.
Great cause.
Yeah, no, that's great. Know a lot of options and take care of people in the community too. That's I know big too, and a lot of the people we talk to, having to be able to come down to a lender and talk to them face to face is definitely a big deal for sure.
I think it's especially a big deal after last year when you couldn't do anything face to face. I mean, Domino's delivers to your house and they'll put it on your step and then back off like they're being robbed.
Right.
And it's not. I'm not talking down to Domino's. I love you, Domino's. But it's one of those things that became a necessity last year. So
sure.
I think the novelty is back of dealing with someone face to face.
Well, and everything's so kind of crazy right now too. Being able to ask questions on the fly, what's going on is a big benefit to people too. So
absolutely, and there's so many moving parts to it, and we give our cell phone numbers. They're right there on our business cards for everybody. So.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. So just real quickly, how did you guys get started in the mortgage lending?
For me, it was kind of a basic story. I started off in banking just like most people do when they try and go into lending, and I was a personal banker for a few months and kind of got that process down, and I kept going to my boss and saying, hey, how do I get more? How do I get more? I want more responsibility, because with more responsibility comes a bigger paycheck.
Right.
And then this opportunity came up, and I put in for it. And I was just as shocked as everyone else that I got it, and I've loved every minute of it.
Cool.
And you're good at it. You're great with people.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Well, and I think the big turning point probably was, Dan had to touch on it, is the customer service. I think the industry was lacking that, and I think COVID gave everybody an excuse too. And so we all had that experience where we weren't educated, and we didn't feel like we had options. We weren't communicated to, and so that's been a big factor, I think, of wanting to do the mortgage lending. We needed a change.
And the market needed a change.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah, having that personal relationship with your customers and that, especially with everything that's going on, and it's such a big investment for these people. I know that's really important at the top of their minds for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and without giving the canned answer of wanting to help people get into homes. Everybody says that.
Yeah.
Sure.
But we truly care. I've shed more tears than I'd like to admit over deals that are struggling sometimes, because you truly care, not because you're just trying to get somebody in a home, make money, and move on.
Right.
It truly hits home when things are struggling for all of us, I would say. That we fight tooth and nail when we have to get it done and do everything we can, and we feel the pain just as much as any of our clients do.
And I would agree with that. You know, we're not just trying to get people into homes, we're trying to get them into the right home. We're trying to get them into the right home, you know.
And that's about education and educating them, and I think that's a big reason why I was interested in mortgage lending. Well, that's exciting, getting into a home, that's a big deal.
Sure.
But you get to know somebody, you get to know their reasonings, their finances, everybody's different.
Right.
And we don't select the product for you. We give you options, we let you know what's out there and what fits and what works for you.
Right.
So just educating them. It's,
Yeah.
like, again, it's a lot of moving parts, it's a big deal.
Right. Well, I
It's
mean,
emotional.
They're very emotional.
yeah, no, I hear you. Even from the real estate side of it, I mean, we're kind of the same thing. You know, it's like you and your family is going through the same process with your clients. You know, I mean, you're living and breathing through everything, and when things fall through, or if it is exciting, it's you're right there in the middle of it. So and we're working together, you know, with all the moving parts and that. So we're all in this together as like a team, and it's definitely challenging, and then it's also emotional too. You get wrapped up in everything that goes on. So.
Well, and I think it's funny you bring up the real estate end of things too, because when we first got started, that was our goal, was to operate a little bit more as a real estate team and less as a mortgage team typically does, in that, you know, we want to be a team. We don't want to be cutting each other's throats for deals. You know, if I meet someone that I think is going to work better with Matt, I have no problem passing that person on to Matt. Same with Sheridan, Autumn, Dustin, you know, everyone that's in the office.
Right.
So that's where I think we've kind of come in and brought something new to the table. Is, you know,
Well,
you're
and
not
the
just coming in
dynamics.
for the bank, you're coming in for the person.
Sure.
All the different walks of life and education and background that we all come from, and the collective knowledge that we have as a team. So you might be working with one lender, but you get knowledge of the whole team.
Sure.
We work very closely.
No, that's awesome. No, that's great to hear. And then here, just curious too, you know, being here in the Sheridan area, what are some of the fun things you guys like to do?
Well, I mean,
Be on the mountain. I don't know if there's
Hands
much better
down.
place to
I
be.
I was going to say, you know, it would be a lie if I didn't mention the bar scene here. But
Oh,
there are a couple places in town, like Fractalton's, a ribbon shop, where it's like, if you want to have a good meal and a good drink, that's cool. And there are other places where if you just want to have a good drink and watch someone get into a fight, more power to you.
right.
How
But,
about the Wild Theater, though?
Oh, the Wild
Shout
Theater,
out.
yeah. No, I hear it's full of amateurs.
No, that's the thing that is awesome about Wyoming. There's tons of stuff going on downtown, and there are other great restaurants and events, and there's always something going on, it seems like. So.
Yeah. And just to preface that, the Wild Theater's not full of amateurs.
Yeah.
Just one.
The one right here.
Oh, I see.
No, the Wild Theater, you know,
I love
it's
the Wild.
funny because I've never gone to an event until this year. I went and I saw Doug, I forget Doug's last name because he's just Doug. I went and I saw him and the Kraft Brothers do a concert there, and that was really cool. And then I had Marva Kraft come up to me and say, hey, you know, I'd like for you to try out for one of these parts in the Newsies. And I told her, you know, I don't have time for that. So she gave me 2 smaller parts, which probably equated to a bigger part, but
Wow.
you know, and then it was just a lot of fun, and so then that's when I start diving in, like, okay, what do we have? And the Wild Theater's just got stuff going all the time.
Yeah, no, and it's
So-
great for the kids in the community too. There's always like a play or an event going on over there, so.
And
The
it
trails
was
and
really
things,
fun.
too.
And the work that goes into those kinds of plays,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought, because, you know, if I'm in it, anyone can be in it.
That's
But
tough work.
no, there was so much work.
Right.
I'm still exhausted from tearing down the set.
But it did look like there was a good turnout.
It was fun. It was
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah, how about you, Matt?
Well, the mountain's my favorite place to be, but I've loved seeing our trail systems expanding here in Sheridan, giving lots more options, and getting outside That's a lot of it for me. And then, yeah, I mean, like I said, you can always go to a bar and watch a fight. Haven't done that for a long time. After having some kids and growing up a little bit, I haven't got to enjoy that as much. But good food, good drink. There's lots of great places. I mean, it's hard to pick just one. I mean, you got Frackleton's, Road Chop, to Las Delicias, and I mean, just so many little mom and pop operations that if I ate out more, it'd be nice. But now that I'm in a new home, I'm hoping to cook some more.
No, and that's one of those things too, like there's always a new place to go. I know Shabby Shack is something, they zhuzh up their menu a little bit every once in a while, so I'm like, hey, you know what? I think I want some Shabby Shack for breakfast.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good Saturday morning breakfast.
I think Sheridan does a good job with just options and constant entertainment and dining, and that there's always something. The biggest thing, I think, is all of the family events. Christmas stroll, Third Thursday. I mean, they do a really good job. The Halloween things.
The Halloween things will be this weekend, so
There's-
some last weekend
There's
even,
always
yeah.
something. The pumpkin patch.
Yep.
Yeah, very family friendly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's what some of the other people we've talked to, they said that it's a great place where you got the walkways and all these events where you can get their family or kids. It just promotes being outside and being together, and so they kind of bring all those together. So
Yeah.
I looked at moving out of Sheridan when I graduated high school, and now I can't even think why.
Quickly realized why.
Why I would ever want to do that.
Right.
Initially I wanted to get out, I wanted to be a chef, getting out, and I'm glad I did. And
Sure.
I love the path I've taken, but I can't even imagine not living in Sheridan.
Right.
And I want to grow old here and never leave.
Yeah, no, it's hard to beat. It's
really
hard
is.
to beat.
And you're still a chef, right? Cooking up deals.
That's right.
Yeah, you're supposed to be cooking in that new house.
Different type of chef.
Right. Well, on that chef note, what are your top 2 favorite restaurants here in the area?
That's a hard one. Come back to me.
Okay.
Oh, for me, I'm going to go with Las Delicias for some Mexican food and a great margarita for me. And I'm going to have to say McGregor's.
Sure.
I really enjoyed their wings, and I love the French dip. So,
Excellent.
yeah.
Yeah, good deal.
That was my choice. The salmon
Yeah.
at McGregor's, yeah.
I don't go that fancy.
Well, I mean, you being from California, I guess I have to be the bougie one. I'm a big fan of Frackleton's, and if we're talking just like go out and get a bite and whatever it is there, I would definitely say Shabby Shack.
Yeah.
It's a bit more of a laid-back environment. I haven't been to the new location, but I'm looking forward to it.
Sure.
But their food is just like, it's almost like something that my grandmother would have made on the weekend, but good.
Homemade good stuff.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, stuff where I'm like, I wouldn't put raspberry jam on this.
Sure.
Grandma did it and I didn't like it. Shabby Shack did it and this is visionary.
You nailed it.
So, yeah,
Awesome.
definitely those two.
A good deal.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the remodel that they did with their new location.
It looks good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It's one of the popular ones for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell everybody about Gateway Mortgage before you kind of wrap things up?
I mean, we're here for loans. It's, we're trying to work around people's schedules as much as we can. So if anyone's even just curious about whether or not they qualify for a loan,
Right.
Give us a call.
pre-qual's always good to have, and it doesn't cost you anything.
Sure.
Just a little bit of time.
Right, and we're happy to work with anybody. Don't feel like you're wasting time. We're here to answer questions, and regardless if they go with Gateway or not, it's all
We want
about the
best decision
education. Yep.
For them.
It's about the client and what's in the best interest of them.
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
All day, every day.
If you take away one thing from this interview, it's that my time is worthless.
Well, no, it's all good. Well, thank you guys. Sure appreciate it. And I hope you guys check out Gateway Mortgage. And I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to talk to everybody today and join us. So,
Thanks, Chad.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.